She was a stranger walking out of a grocery store when he nervously approached her with a desperate, odd request. "Would you pretend to be my wife for a few hours?" Her reaction shocked him. But it was what she whispered to his daughter later that left him speechless, tears falling down his cheeks. Sparkling heart, if you're touched by real human stories, please like this video and subscribe to our channel Kindness Stories for more heartwarming content. Ethan Cole never thought he'd be standing in a grocery store parking lot, staring helplessly at strangers passing by, trying to find one who might help him lie. But today was different. Today, he had run out of options. His 6-year-old daughter Lily had been invited to a Moms and Muffins breakfast event at her school, a celebration meant for children and their mothers. The flyer said, "No dads allowed, only mothers, or someone who could pretend to be one." Lily hadn't said anything when Ethan read it aloud. She'd only smiled softly and said, "It's okay, Daddy. I'll just sit in the back and watch the others eat." Those words destroyed him. Lily had never known her real mom. Emily, Ethan's wife, had passed away during childbirth. For 6 years, he'd raised his daughter alone, working 2 jobs, sacrificing sleep, skipping meals so she could have enough. But there were things he couldn't give her. Like the presence of a mother at a school event filled with hugs and laughter. So here he was, sweating nervously under the California sun, watching as a woman in her 20s, with soft auburn hair and a denim jacket, stepped out of the store holding a carton of milk and some bread. Something about her made him speak. "Excuse me," he said, his voice cracking with nerves. "I know this will sound crazy. But, would you pretend to be my wife for just one morning?" The woman froze. Her eyes widened. And then narrowed. I'm sorry," she asked, taken aback. Ethan quickly raised his hands, trying to explain. "My daughter has this school event tomorrow morning. It's for kids and their moms. She doesn't have one. And I thought maybe, just maybe, someone kind might help. Just for an hour. No strings. I'll pay you if you want." There was a silence. People around them continued walking, unaware of the storm Ethan felt in his chest. The woman looked at him again. Then down at Lily, sitting in the car, humming softly to herself and playing with her doll. "What's her name?" she asked. "Lily," Ethan replied. "She's 6. The woman looked back at Ethan. "And your name?" "Ethan. Ethan Cole." She nodded. "I'm Claire." And then, surprisingly, she smiled. "I don't want your money. But I'll be there. For Lily. Tomorrow at 7:30, right?" Ethan stared at her, stunned. "You mean it?" Claire laughed. "Yeah. I mean it." And just like that, a stranger became part of a father's broken world. The next morning, Lily wore her favorite yellow dress, the one with daisies on the hem. Her small fingers trembled as she waited on the front porch. She had no idea who Claire was, just that Daddy said someone very kind would be taking her to the event. At 7:25 sharp, a car pulled into their driveway. Claire stepped out, wearing a soft blue sweater and carrying a bouquet of pink carnations. "For you," she said, kneeling before Lily. "I heard you like flowers." Lily's face lit up. At the event, other mothers chatted in their cliques, sipping coffee and nibbling muffins. When Claire and Lily walked in, heads turned. Some whispered. Others smiled politely. But Claire didn't care. She laughed with Lily, cut her muffin into bunny shapes, and even braided her hair right at the table. She didn't pretend, she was present. Fully, sincerely. When a teacher asked Claire how long she and Ethan had been together, Claire smiled sweetly and said, 6 beautiful years. Later, Lily sat on Claire's lap and asked in a whisper, "Why did you come?" Claire looked into her eyes, brushing a stray curl behind her ear. "Because someone very special needed me." That moment etched itself into Lily's heart. But Ethan, watching from the hallway where he waited, not allowed inside, never forgot what happened next. As the event ended, Claire bent down to Lily and whispered something Ethan couldn't hear. But he saw the tears form in Lily's eyes. Not of pain, but of healing. When they got home, Lily ran to her room, humming louder than usual. Ethan turned to Claire, unsure what to say. "You saved her day," he murmured. "You didn't have to do any of this." Claire smiled, but there was something unreadable in her eyes. "Ethan," she said gently. "What if I told you I didn't just do this for her?" Ethan blinked. "What do you mean?" But Claire only gave a quiet smile and turned toward her car. And just like she arrived, she left. The days went by, and Ethan tried to move on. He focused on work, packed Lily's lunchboxes, did the laundry, and stayed up reading bedtime stories. But Lily kept asking, "Will Miss Claire visit again?" He didn't know what to say. He had no number. No address. Just a name, and a moment. But that moment haunted him. The way Claire looked at Lily. The warmth. The sincerity. The whisper. So, one Saturday afternoon, Ethan drove Lily to the store again, hoping, just maybe, lightning could strike twice. And somehow, as fate would have it, Claire was there again, this time looking at candles in aisle 5. She looked up and smiled as if she'd been waiting for them. Lily ran to her, wrapping her small arms around her legs. "Miss Claire. Daddy and I were talking about you." Claire knelt. "I was hoping I'd see you again, sweetheart." Ethan stepped forward slowly. "I never got to ask, what did you whisper to her that day?" Claire stood up and looked at him seriously. Then said, "I told her that even if her real mom couldn't be there, it didn't mean her heart had to stay empty forever. That sometimes, love finds us in the most unexpected places." Ethan's eyes welled up. "Do you know what she said to me after?" Claire added. "What?" "She said, 'You smell like love.'" Ethan laughed through tears. They had coffee that day. Then dinner a week later. And slowly, carefully, Claire became more than just a stranger who helped. She became Lily's friend. Then her bedtime storyteller. Then the woman who showed up with soup when Lily had the flu. Ethan kept waiting for the catch, for the other shoe to drop. But it never did. And one evening, months later, as the three of them sat watching old cartoons under a blanket, Lily looked up and asked, "Miss Claire, can I call you Mommy?" Ethan froze. Claire turned to Lily, her eyes soft, and said, "Only if I get to call you my sunshine." Ethan's heart broke open. That night, after Lily had fallen asleep, Ethan walked Claire to her car. "Why did you really do it?" he asked again. "Back then, in the parking lot?" Claire hesitated. "Because I knew what it felt like to sit alone at a school event, and wish someone showed up for me." She swallowed hard. "You didn't just give Lily a gift that day, Ethan. You gave me one too." They stood in silence. Then Claire looked at him, her voice barely above a whisper. "So maybe next time, you won't have to ask me to pretend." Ethan took her hand in his. "Maybe I never wanted it to be pretend." And under that quiet California sky, a stranger who once said yes to a desperate request, became a mother, a partner, and the missing piece in two lonely hearts. Sometimes the people who walk into our lives unplanned are the ones who change everything. If this story warmed your heart, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel Kindness Stories for more stories like this.